Hi everyone, my name is King Ivy and this is Introduction to Excel Basics. This is the third lesson in a series of 8 lessons on the Introduction to Excel Basics. In the previous lesson we covered formatting and this one we'll be covering sorting. So let's get started. So make sure that you have the Excel Basics data sheet open, and we're really going to focus on this data tab, data ribbon, and really focus on this sort and filter area. And the reason why sorting's important in Excel or in a lot of things is that it allows you to group data or see things in actual logical and sequential order. So an example is that maybe you're doing like how many times you've like jogged in a particular year. One logical way of viewing it is sorting in by date, ascending order. So looking across the year, when did you actually go for a jog? Another way of actually showing that data might be sorting it descending, which means highest to lowest by the amount you jogged. So that way you can see on which day you actually jogged the most. Just as an arbitrary example. So what we're going to do here is there's a couple quick filters and then more advanced filtering, and then we'll cover filtering. So what you want to do here is click on C1 and just click on this A to Z. And what you see here is that, if you didn't see that, is that right now it's not sorted by any particular order. And you'll see that Toronto region, Peterborough, Nipissing, it's not really in that logical order. So what you can do here is click on this A to Z and it'll sort lowest to highest, and then Z to A, which will sort highest to lowest. So that's all fine and dandy. You can also go to the very right and then go to capacity, for example, and sort A to Z, which will do lowest to highest, Z to A, which is again sort, and then you can also do it for a date, which will then A to Z will give oldest to youngest or oldest to newest, and then newest to oldest. You can also sort on, it also sorts it based off this alphanumeric concept. So even if, for example, this approval number has both numbers and text, so if I sort A to Z, you'll see there it'll sort, in this case there's a space here, it'll sort in alphabetical order based off of alphabetical and numeric order. So basically it goes by each of the characters. So in this case the characters blank on these first couple, so it's going to bring it to the top. You might want to say, for example, sort on maybe location and approval number. So what you want to do here is click on sort, and then let's go to this drop down list and click on location, and then we're going to sort A to Z. We're going to add location and then sort based off of MOE approval number. So basically it's going to sort first by location and then sort within the location the approval numbers. So what you'll see here is that it sorted, goes Brant County, Chatham, Kent County, and then sorts it then within Chatham, Kent County, because there's multiple rows with Chatham, Kent County in by the approval number. So really effective way of doing that kind of sorting. You can also sort custom. So for example, if I want to sort here and I want to bring say for example Toronto region, comma, which is then the next one, Wellington County, and then County of Grey. So type those three in, separated by comma, click on add, and then you'll see that I have it selected. Press OK, and then press OK again, and then what you'll see here is it sorts it by Toronto region, Wellington County. I guess it didn't sort it by County of Grey because I misspelt it. Oh yeah, I put country instead of county. So there you go. So you'll see it sorts it by those three regions and then sorts it alphabetically. Perfect. So that's sorting for you. So what I'm going to do now is quickly go over filtering. So click on the first row, anywhere in the first row, as long as you have a text all in the first row that where there's text below. So you click on there, and what you'll see is beside each of the first rows, there's going to be this drop-down list. And this is a really effective way of looking at the data. So what you'll see here is that this approval status has a number of different options available. So one way of figuring out how many different approval statuses there are is performing a sort A to Z and scrolling down and seeing when do you encounter other options. A quicker way, which I find really effective, is clicking on this drop-down list, and it will show you all the options that are available. So that way I know that there's 3 different approval status application statuses. So if I want to look at the application status received and screening for completeness, it'll filter all the rows that have that combination. You can also, for example, if I wanted to look at all the projects that were done since 2014, what I can do here is I can either I can click on it. Right now it's grouped by the years, and then you can filter and go down further. So if I can click here and go 2014. So really effective way of filtering your data. You can also do custom filtering. So what I mean by that is I can go here for project cost and say, give me everything that's greater than $1 million. And then it's going to sort it by all the projects that are greater than $1 million. And then you can also click another area and say like, okay, I want to know how many of those are in County of Dufferin. And it'll filter out all the projects, all the rows that meet both conditions, meet the condition of greater than $1 million and the condition that the location is County of Dufferin. You can also filter custom. So for example, I want to filter text filter, anything that contains district. And then I'll do the filter based off anything that contains the word district. So I'm just going to walk through these custom filters. So these custom filters, so if you guys didn't see that, so you go to filter, text filter, custom filter, and then I'll walk to the top. So equals is obviously where it's exactly the same, does not equal where it doesn't meet that, whatever the condition you set, greater than, less than, begins with. So this is really effective if you want to look at maybe all streets that start with an A, for example, or ends with. So you want to look at all the roads that and all the street addresses that end with the word road in it, or north, or whichever, and then contains is where it contains in any part of the text. So really effective way of applying filtering and sorting in order to better understand your data set. So that's it for now, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next lesson. Have a good rest of the day.